Hey, and welcome to the second ever Red Heaven podcast. My name is Joel, and my band is called Red Heaven. Now, I'm just sort of doing a thing where I turn on my phone and I just record myself babbling, and I don't know how long I'm going to use that format. Definitely not forever, but that's what I'm doing right now. And the main reason I'm doing that is because I've been planning to do podcasts for like a year. I think I mentioned this in the last one. And I just kept putting it off because I was like, I got to get the lights. I got to set up like the sort of the photo booth type situation. And I got to do like an intro card and like an outro card. And the thing is, I am actually going to do all that. I actually am going to do all that. But I also realized that I was taking too long to get to it, if you get what I mean. Like I was postponing it for too long by thinking like, I got to do this. A year I was thinking this over. So I finally said, you know what, I should just turn on my phone and I should just go. And so that's what I'm doing. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is a subject which is close to my personal life, and it's about being an older musician, especially a rock musician. Now, I'm 48 years old. I just turned 48 not too long ago, and it's not hard to tell by looking at me. Okay, I shaved my head, but like most of this doesn't need shaving. I'm gonna be honest about that. Pretty gray through here, kind of hard to hide that. Kind of soggy in the midsection, so I don't have that sort of lithe, sort of tiger-like body I once had when I was 25 or 21 or whatever it was. And I don't have that beautiful, rich, long, curly hair I once had. And that's kind of fine. And here's the thing about that is that it's actually okay. I don't really have a big problem with it. I actually like getting older, and I like being grayer, and just stuff like that's kind of cool. I wish my back didn't hurt so much, and this. I just wish I didn't have to go to the bathroom twice every night. But forget I said that. But there is something that's important to think about when you're a musician, and especially for me, because I'm doing kind of what you might call a young style of music. Even though I do a lot of sort of ambient world stuff and devotional music, and I do all sorts of music, as anybody who's listened to my music will tell you, but I really do a lot of rock, and that's kind of a young man's game, if you know what I mean. So when I play, or when I more accurately, when I release a product, so I do an album and I release it, what happens is it sits next to other people of the same genre. So let's say it's just not just rock, but like rock, pop, whatever. And I kind of sit next to like Justin Bieber or like what. Don't get me wrong, I'm not selling the way that Justin Bieber is selling, and I don't enjoy his level of fame. And a lot of people would say I don't enjoy his level of talent either. So let's not conflate that. But what I don't know what conflate means. But what I'm saying is that there's me, and I kind of look like I work at a school and with a bunch of kids who are like 6, 7 years old, and they're like, "Are you Santa?" And I'm like, "Shut up, kid." But and so there's me, right, rock and roll Santa, next to like Justin Bieber, right? So when you look at them together, like it's like, wow, are you Justin Bieber's granddad? I'm like, no, but marketing wise, you got to think about age, and you got to think about image and stuff like that. And I saw a podcast not long ago where somebody said, if you're over 40, you can just kind of forget it. And it was weird, because if you want to be like a Backstreet Boys kind of situation, like, yeah, okay, over 40, good luck, I guess is what I'm saying. But I don't really kind of put myself out like that, and I certainly don't make the kind of music which is normally associated with, the sort of thing that would be sold on your looks, which is probably for the best. So I'm going to show you what I did. I bought goggles, and I got these off of Etsy. And they are, a lot of you have seen them. They're actual leather and brass. They're not plastic. That's actual glass in there. And the reason I got them was I thought, I'm going to just do something marketing wise that gives it a uniqueness, like a unique visual sort of identity. And something obviously I'm trying not to steal from others as best I can. And so I'm not necessarily competing on, say, like good looks or having the perfect looks of a Justin Bieber kind of guy or a Taylor Swift. To be fair, I am probably even less likely to be compared to Taylor Swift in terms of my facial, you know what I'm saying. So I got these, and I thought, they're a little weird, which I like, because I think my music is a little weird. And they're a little different, and if you don't mind me saying this, I think my music's a little different. Whether or not it's good is a matter of personal taste, but I at least know that some of it's different. And I thought, it really speaks because it's also not like dark and evil, right? So I'm not like necessarily wearing something like putting on like a Slipknot kind of mask that's covered in blood and spikes. I was tempted, and I was looking, I could put a bucket and put eye holes in it and put like blood spraying out, but I was like, okay, that's not my audience and that's not my music. It is cool though. I wanted to be in Guar. All right, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I like Guar, and okay, that's all we're gonna say about this. So I got these goggles, and I shaved my head actually when I got the goggles because I thought, okay, I'm gonna just do this look, right? This kind of weirdo look, and I put them on, and they're great. Like don't get me wrong, I can see, but what's funny is I tried to wear them a few times when I was playing live, and now when I play, I get hot, right? Like, and that's just how it is. I mean, it's not just nerves. Nerves make me sweaty. How attractive is that? But it's also like the lights make me feel hotter, and obviously, and but also like by the time I get around to getting up on the stage, I've already spent like an hour and a half carrying my stuff from my car to the stage and lifting and dragging and stuff around like that. So my goggles like literally like are just full. They fog up because I'm like sweating, and sometimes they just get nasty in there. So I don't wear them when I'm playing live, but I did wear them on the album cover. And then I got these. And this is a pair of these are the real thing, just like the others. These are actually the real thing. Now they're metal. Okay, and there's foam and rubber and stuff like that, but they're not plastic or anything like that. But point is that just another goggly look. And I wore these for the echolocation photos, which a lot of you have seen already, especially if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you've probably seen it already. And I got those sort of for the same reason, just to create an unusual look, create something kind of different. Now, here's the thing is that as a human being, as a person, I don't particularly have a lot of trouble with being older or the way I look or whatever. Would I like to look like Brad Pitt? Well, you're an idiot if you don't want to look like Brad Pitt, so it's a stupid question. But, on my day-to-day life, I'm kind of fine, right? Like, I don't sort of walk around having a problem with being 48. Marketing-wise, I still don't have a problem with it, but I do have to think about how I look, and I do have to think about the image I present. So when somebody takes a photo of me, my photographer is typically Denise Grant, who is this amazing photographer from Toronto, not just an old friend of mine, and I think actually that's because we're old friends is probably the reason why I can still get her to book appointments with me, but just a very accomplished photographer. But when she takes photos, I don't show up in like a t-shirt and my jeans and like just unshaven. I'll just be like, yeah, just take the photo, whatever. I look like the poster from About Schmidt, but go ahead and take the photo. I try to put some thought into that, and it's because the visual has to be commercial, and by that I mean the way I look, the image I'm presenting, the tone of the image I'm presenting has to be somewhat commercially realistic, because I do have to sit next to Justin Bieber, even though I'm just a little tiny band that like almost nobody's heard of, and Justin Bieber is like this basically like Coca-Cola, where everybody in the world can get some Justin Bieber if they want it. But even though there's that scale is different, I have to think about commercial presentations. So, I try to buy nice hats, and I try to get good glasses, and I try to make the look work a little bit. Not because I have a problem with it, but because you got to think about how it's gonna look on posters and album covers and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd touch on that a little bit. Being older as a rock, I want to say star, but I know it's not the right word. I mean, you get what I mean by like. Star is grossly overstating my position in terms of the music industry, but you get what I'm saying. When I go to gigs and stuff and I play with other bands, and they're always like half my age or less, and they're always like, dude, I met this guy in college, and I'm like, hey, I got friends from college too, and they're like, yeah, I met him 6 weeks ago, and I'm like, that's nice for you that you were in college 6 weeks ago. It's an interesting reality that sometimes, when I think about it, like a lot of the my friends, like when you play in a rock band, you invite your friends to come to the show. Now, if you're 20, that's kind of a thing you do. You go out a lot anyway. You don't have kids. You don't have you may not have a job. I mean, a lot of people do at that age, but you don't have kids, you don't have a job, you know, you're not married, or maybe you do have a job, I don't know, and you come out and you can just rock out until like 1 in the morning. My friends, you know, I'm like, hey, come on in, we're gonna play some heavy metal music. I don't say it like that, but you know, Sunday night, and they're like, dude, seriously, I gotta be in. My manager and I are meeting on Monday morning, and we gotta talk about like inventory, like that is our thing. So I really need to be there. Everything just falls apart. So I'm in bed by like 9, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And actually, I mean, I joke about it, but I totally respect that because, you know, that's part of just being at the place in life where you are. But I find getting people to come to the gigs who are my friends, it's harder to do. And so I go to these gigs and I get up behind the mic and I say hello to everybody, and they're all like my daughter's age, you know, which is kind of interesting. And, you know, I would just come out and say I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm not totally uncomfortable with it, but it is a difference between Red Heaven and some of the other bands that we play with on the same bill, because they're playing for their friends and their peers. I'm playing for somebody who was born like after I'd been married for 3 or 4 years, you know, and I'm not married and I haven't been married for a long time. So, you know, you get what I'm saying. So, little things. You don't want to sell your soul out. And so, for instance, I'm not going to dye my hair. I'm not going to get implants. I mean, I thought about it, but you ever seen people with implants? Like, you look at them and you go like, oh, nice implants. Like, you never look and you go like, oh, nice hair. I've never done it anyway. But I did get these, and I did get these, and I just sort of try to own it. And I think that's good enough for now.